Howdy, folks. I'm Bugs Bunny,
I'm Amber.
and here's some loony, toony Reddit, I guess. Wascally Rabbit. Before we begin, there is a live stream today. A live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern or whatever time zone that you're in. And there's more information at the end of this slide. At the end of this. At the end. At the end. So stick around till then. Or just jump till then. Alright, folks, our first letter is titled, Will I be a jerk if I let parents know that their child's daycare is not what they think it is? And folks, this one does involve child abuse and neglect. I work at a home-based daycare that advertises itself as a Montessori adjacent. The owner of the daycare, I'll call her Lisa, constantly lies to the parents about the child's daycare. Lisa tells me that she knows better than the parents do, and often the parents just get in the way of developing the child's behavior. She does not have professional boundaries, and because of that, I know every detail of her life. If something bad happens, she'll come to me while I'm working with the kids to rant. She says things in front of the children that I do not think is appropriate, and distracts me from fully focusing on them. She is knowingly over capacity and has more children than legally allowed because she wants money. She lies on her paperwork and alters the children's age in forms to make it seem legal. It's simply impossible for one adult to give 10 children, 3 and under, all the care and support that they need in a day. Most importantly to me, she is hyper controlling with the children. There are so many rules that even I lose track. She hands out timeouts like they're candy, yells, physically moves children for small things like having a toy off their mat. She has told me that during nap time, she picks up a kid and lets them fall back on their mat from a foot or two up to shock them into listening. She also taps them on their head to scare them into being quiet. If a child is crying and won't stop when she tells them to, Lisa will lock them in a dark bathroom until they stop. She asked me to do this, and I said that I wasn't comfortable. She left in a huff, but came back later apologizing and explaining that it's actually better for the kids as they learn that that kind of behavior, crying, is not okay. The last child that she did this to was 14 months old. Lisa is also very controlling with food and makes them eat everything on their plate and drink 2 cups of water with every meal. Morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack. If she thinks a child is not drinking enough water, she makes them drink a cup before giving them food. If they don't drink the water by the time the meal is over, they don't get to eat. She told me to do this, and I let her know that it's illegal. She then threatened to fire me. About an hour after this, she came back and started apologizing and hugging me and explaining why it's better for the child. She put on this show in front of the parents about being gentle and loving, but sometimes she's an authoritarian and fear-based. She has told me not to tell the parents about it and not to use these methods in front of the parents. Would I be the jerk if I tell the parents about this when I leave? I feel a need for them to have all of the information, but I also am not sure if I'm being over dramatic. I've never worked in daycare before, and honestly, I don't know if this is normal or not. It feels wrong. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
I think that OP needs to call the authorities ASAP. Like, this is child
Yeah.
abuse,
Yeah.
and OP will be the jerk if they don't do something. Not only the jerk, but also potentially an accomplice to illegal activities.
Yeah. Dropping children, starving children, locking them away in dark, confined spaces. Come on, really? This woman thinks that this is perfectly fine? No, this is this is not good. You should not be doing this to children. And like what Amber said, OP, if the authorities find out that you're complicit in the actions here, you're going to go to jail with her.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's pretty clear cut. OP, tell someone yesterday. Well, first of all, document everything.
Mm-hmm.
Find what evidence you can, because
Yeah.
unfortunately, sometimes people can cover these things up. So you need to have proof to back up your
Oh yeah,
allegations.
yeah.
As long as your state's a one-party consent recording state, you can always just record her when she's doing things. If it's two-party consent, then it's a little trickier. But
Yeah.
find evidence, and yeah, don't go to the parents, just go straight to the authorities.
Yeah, I think going to the authorities is probably going to be the best course of action, and it's going to be the place that's going to provide the most immediate reaction to keep these children safe. And I just feel bad for the parents because they think that they're spending all this money on good quality education when in reality they're getting dropped.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it probably, a foot or two is probably not going to hurt a kid depending on the situation, depending on whether or not this is actually a foot.
It's the psychological trauma that
But
is the
yeah,
most important thing of anything. Like, these children are going to come away, like, with major trauma from
yeah,
being abused.
yeah. And that's what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that this is right. I'm
Hmm.
saying that that probably isn't necessarily going to physically injure them, but the mental toll on these kids is going to be pretty severe. Locking kids in dark confined spaces because they cry,
Hmm.
like who does that? Who
Hmm.
does that? Oh, and one note, I did read the comments from OP, and they are taking this to the authorities as soon as possible. Anyhow, OP, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber has a joke.
What kind of ball doesn't bounce?
A buckyball.
I don't know what that is, but a snowball.
A snowball? A buckyball is a carbon uh, a ball of carbon, essentially.
I know I've heard of them before. We talked about them in like Nuke or something, but that was so long ago, I don't even remember.
I don't know if a buckyball bounces or not. It probably does. Honestly, it probably has a lot of elastic force. So my answer is probably very wrong. But a snowball is a good answer. And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for right now. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that we'll see you all later on today. Hopefully, you'll enjoy the live stream. We've got a lot of great stories picked out. So, we've been accumulating like the leftovers, but they're not like bad leftovers. They're not moldy, I promise. Amber, what's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is don't abuse children and report child abusers.
Works for me. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow or
Bye.
today.
Bye.